The early release program has become a real problem in Los Angeles County. At present, a prisoner who's sentenced in court to 90 days in the county jail actually only serves up to 3 days. In fact, if a person is arrested today for a crime that would get 90 days in the county jail, and they're taken to court tomorrow, and they were to plead guilty to whatever charges they were charged with, and the judge would sentence them to 90 days in the county jail, they'd actually be released that afternoon from court. They wouldn't do any physical jail time whatsoever. The prisoners know that, and the system is out of control at this point.
As a result of that early release program, a number of people have been murdered by suspects who would normally have been in custody.
What early release does is take away the punishment of being sentenced to jail. We call them frequent flyers. Get a month down the road, I said, you just got sentenced to 6 months county jail. How did you get out? Early release, I only did 10 days.
Why is the Los Angeles County Sheriff releasing convicted criminals after serving little or no time whatsoever? Sheriff Baca explains that it's due entirely to jail overcrowding.
So the jail overcrowded problem, as you may know, stems from court decrees, quite frankly, and that is that there can only be so many prisoners housed in the jail based on bed space availability. So we were capped at about 18,000 prisoners based on this Rutherford decision. When the population grew, because of the strict nature of this decision, we could not put too many inmates in a crowded cell environment or dormitory environment. Ultimately, we were sleeping people in day rooms in the chapel and hallways and so forth to keep them in jail longer. But the ACLU filed its complaint, asked that we not do that. We altered what we were doing. We had to crowd more people into the existing cells and dormitories. That caused a greater problem. Federal Judge Pregerson took a visit into the jails. He didn't like what he saw.
Well, the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, constantly tour the jails and the Inmate Reception Center. And whenever there are issues or problems or concerns, we try to deal with them and work as a partner with them. Sometimes we're not always able to, see eye to eye on different things. It's kind of as a result of the federal judge removing some beds from the men's central jail. He made an order that said that the 6-man cells, he didn't believe that there was enough square footage in there for the 6 individuals that were in there, so he reduced them, asked us to reduce them from 6-man to 4-man, and the 4-man cells to 2-man. In essence, what that did is it removed 1,200 beds that we would normally put inmates in from the system.
1,200 beds? Captain Tim Cornell runs the Inmate Reception Center and has the responsibility to move inmates to appropriate housing in a timely manner. He was called on the carpet by Judge Pregerson, who ordered the sheriff to eliminate the overcrowding in the jails. It was the judge's order that caused the whole system to back up into the Inmate Reception Center, Captain Cornell's direct area of responsibility.
And he said, well, then tell me, Captain, what's the fix? And I said, well, with all due respect, sir, perhaps what we could have done could have been another method. We could have made the 6-man cells into 5 and the 4-man cells into 3, and I would have gained 600 beds, or only lost 600 beds in the merits, and perhaps we wouldn't be here today. And he said, that's certainly an alternative. And he said, however, have you seen the 6-man cells and the 4-man cells over there? And I had to admit, I have quite a bit here to keep my hands busy, so I don't normally tour the jail facilities. I get over there from time to time. I meet with my counterparts over there, but I don't go through each of the cells and see how they're configured. And he said, well, they're deplorable. And the 6 people that are in there shouldn't be in there, and they should be reduced to 4, so you need to figure out something else.
Former Attorney General Edwin Meese III is critical of federal judges who overstep their boundaries of responsibility and muck up the system by interfering.
The original idea of the framers was that there would be a judicial review in the sense that if cases came before the court alleging that a particular law passed by the federal Congress or by state legislatures was in conflict with the Constitution, that then in that case the court could hold in effect that the law was null and void. That has been expanded over the years by the courts so that now they're actually performing legislative functions sometimes by, instead of interpreting the law and interpreting the Constitution, they're actually trying to make law. They start with the Constitution, but then they go beyond that and substitute their personal preferences or their policy ideas and their policy biases for what the Constitution actually says. And so, in a sense, in that way, they usurp the function of the legislature. And then in the last 50 years or so, they have gotten in the business of supervising state prisons, school boards, mental institutions, and performing executive functions for which they are particularly not well fitted. They have no particular expertise, and as a result, we've had a great deal of confusion about who's responsible for the running of both state and local functions because of the improper interference by the courts.
And so Sheriff Baca is backed into a corner and has no choice but to release criminals early.
So we've decided, in the interest of keeping as much as we can within this federal mandate, to release and reassign more prisoners.
We want to know what you, the viewers, think. Please take our survey and leave your comments below. Number 1. Do you think the ACLU lawsuits challenging jail conditions is a good public service? Yes or no? Number 2. Should federal judges impose their own supervision over government institutions, such as jails? Yes or no? And number 3, do you think the California legislature should increase the taxes to build more prisons in order to free up the county jails? Yes or no? Please cast your vote and be sure to leave your comments below. Thank you. As you can see, Full Disclosure is not in the business of distorting the news. We're not in the business of trying to convince our viewers, only to inform them. We're a non-profit educational organization. We provide the platform and the vehicle where you can hear the various perspectives. It's up to you, the viewers, to determine what is right and what is wrong. If you want Full Disclosure to continue to shine the light of truth on important issues that the mainstream media just won't do, then we need your support. There are so many important issues facing our communities, our state, and our nation, and your tax-deductible contribution can help us get the word out to continue informing the public. You are invited to join the Friends of Full Disclosure. Your support will help assure that we can reach more and more people and improve the production quality of our programs. All you have to do is send us the much-needed support using PayPal. Just click on the link below and join at whatever level you can afford. Our goal is government accountability. When the people are informed on the issues, then the people in government must do what is right, because they know we're watching. Together we can make a difference, but we need your support to continue bringing you the news behind the news. Please contribute what you can. Thank you.